Well, hello there, motherfuckers. It's time for another retro review. No Way Out 2005 this time. This pay-per-view is uh, not too good. Not too good at all. It started off with Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio winning the SmackDown Tag titles from the Bashams. Um, this was an okay little match, I guess, to open the show. But it was pretty boring up until the finish. Like, nothing was fucking happening. The Bashams, I remember, were a team that a lot of fucking people were defending, but they were boring. Downright fucking boring. They didn't do any moves. They just stomped people, punched them. That was it. Just guys that didn't have any moves whatsoever. Little clever finish at the end. Guerrero throws the belt to one Basham, and when the ref is distracted, he hits the other Basham with the belt. Pretty creative little finish, a classic Eddie Guerrero finish, but the match was boring. 2 stars. Then it was Booker T defeating Heidenreich. This was fucking trash. Heidenreich hits him with a chair in the throat. Pretty fucking little brutal spot there. I really miss shit like that. Chairs to the throat. Now that's hardcore. But this match wasn't hardcore. It was very lame and very confusing. When they had these brand exclusive pay-per-views, they were running out of ideas. They were really desperate. They would still continue these brand exclusives for another 2 years, but it was getting very, very fucking hard for them to book matches because they sometimes had very limited rosters to work with. And this was another example of when their roster was really limited. They didn't really have a lot of star power on SmackDown. For some reason, there was a lot better wrestlers on Raw at this time. Don't know why that was, but they had to book a match like this. I give this a 1/4 Very fucking boring, pointless match. Then you had Chavo Guerrero defeating Funaki, Paul London, Spike Dudley, Shannon Moore, and Akio in a Cruiserweight Open match. Not a bad little match. I enjoyed it. The eliminations were too fucking quick. But, it wasn't too bad. So, some decent stuff here. I give it 2 3/4 stars. Not really a good match, but it was fast paced. I wasn't bored. I found it to be pretty entertaining. Then it was The Undertaker defeating Luther Reigns. Um, it was all right. I liked Luther Reigns' look at this time. It looked like they were going to do something with him. The build-up was not bad for this match. He smacked Undertaker with a camera. Um, it was all right for 2 big guys. It could have been a lot worse, I suppose. But Luther Reigns moved around pretty well in the ring. And then you had this one fucking very confusing point where they claimed that that Luther Reigns hit a fucking swinging neckbreaker when it's very obvious it was a reverse DDT. And Michael Cole is like having a fucking orgasm. Swinging neckbreaker! Swinging neckbreaker! He hit the swinging neckbreaker. I guess you could say that Michael Cole gets horny for swinging neckbreakers. He really seemed to enjoy the swinging neckbreaker. He was going fucking apeshit for the swinging neckbreaker. The swinging neckbreaker, holy fucking shit. Who gives a fuck about a swinging neckbreaker? Wasn't even a swinging neckbreaker. It was a reverse DDT, motherfuckers. Anyway, give the match 2 stars. Not terrible, not great, but, it was alright. Then it was John Cena defeating Kurt Angle in the finals of this number 1 contenders tournament for the WWE Championship. Not a bad match. Pretty good, I think. They had better matches. for example, the match that Cena debuted against Angle with was good. I was also watching on the network the match they had on SmackDown where Brock Lesnar faced Hulk Hogan. That was another fucking great match. But in comparison, this match wasn't really as good as their other ones. Um, I give it like 3 stars. Not terrible, not that great. It was just a decent match. Then you had JBL defeating the Big Show in a barbed wire steel cage match. They didn't even use the barbed wire. There was only one point where JBL climbed up the cage and his forearm got some blood on it. It got sliced a little bit. Match was not bad though. Very short, but it was okay. Some people talk shit about this match because in retrospect, because they didn't use the barbed wire, but everyone was bleeding. They were slamming each other into the cage. So for the most part, it really wasn't that bad. Big Show choke slams JBL through the ring. Um, it was all right. I give it 2 3/4 stars. It wasn't terrible, as a lot of people say it was. For the most part, everybody was bleeding. They tried to make it like a real brutal cage match, even though the Big Show was very limited. I like, to finish with JBL going through the ring and crawling out of the ring was pretty funny, doing that off camera, and everybody thought the Big Show won originally. So that wasn't too terrible, but this pay-per-view was really lackluster. Even though there wasn't a lot of like bad matches, there wasn't anything great or good. I'll give this like a 5 out of 10. I'll go right down the middle here. Nothing overly terrible. Only Booker T and Heidenreich was just very fucking weird for it to be on the card. But nothing was overly bad or disgusting. It was just a poorly booked show where there wasn't enough quality to really, be able to fully enjoy it. But I wasn't really that bored throughout the pay-per-view. It kind of held my interest, but for the most part, it just is very forgettable because nothing really that great happened on it. There you go.